Hey, everybody. In this crazy world where we have been quarantined and social distanced, one of the things that I continue to see is people talking about how do I network in a world of COVID? What do we do? And I'll be honest, it's been hard. Back when March came and everybody got sent home and live events got canceled, many people whose careers really relied on connections with other people have been separated from their networks. But it doesn't have to be that way. I have been working with a lot of associations to make sure that their virtual events still have a networking component. And when it's not an association event or a human gathering, you have to take ownership in this world of COVID to make sure that while you're social distanced, you are still connecting with people. I've taken to calling it social tightening while social distancing. But if you don't take ownership of it, if you're not focused on your networking, then you're going to drift apart from people. It's just human nature. If we're not in someone's view, we're going to be out of sight. And we all know that out of sight is out of mind. Now, I've spent the last 15 years talking to people about how do you network better to be able to create relationships, and how do we utilize live events and organizations to make sure that we're tightening with other people so that opportunities are there for us, so that when somebody has an opportunity, we're top of mind. So I don't know, about 13 years ago, I wrote a book called The ABCs of Networking. Now, of all the books I've written, this is one of the two that has sold the most. I think it's over 25,000 copies of this little book have gone out into circulation over the last 12 or 13 years. And I'll tell you what, it still holds true today. So I started thinking about, does this book have any advice in it that would matter in the world of COVID? So I looked at the word COVID, and I went to the ABCs of networking, and I looked at what came up. So the C stands for creativity. And I'll tell you that if you want to be able to network in this world where you're at home talking into a Zoom camera, you have to be creative. You can't just assume that other people are thinking about you. You can't assume that when you're in that Brady Bunch grid of some sort of a Zoom meeting that you're going to stand out. You also can't assume that your career is going to advance if you let networking just die during 2020. Because here's the thing. Are you sure that your competitors aren't getting creative this year? What if all of your competitors were being creative and finding ways to connect with people while you sat at home and waited for the phone to ring? 2021 is not going to look really well. So you have to get creative and make sure that you're reaching out and touching people in ways that will make you stand out. The O stands for others. Now, this is something that's really important. From the beginning of this crisis, I have told people to make sure that you're finding ways to reach out to other people, because long before we were quarantined, there was an epidemic of loneliness in our society. There are a lot of people who feel extremely disconnected right now, and they need to hear from you. Now, one person told me, I don't have time to do that. I actually think you don't have time not to reach out to other people, because all opportunities in life come from people, and it's those people who are going to be there for you when you need your next job or when you have to start making sales again. The V stands for vision. You've got to look to the future, because this crisis isn't going to last forever. And the people who are being visionary, the people who are looking 2 steps ahead, they're going to be the people who really thrive when we get to the other side. I is for intensity. Now, here's the thing. This is your career. If you don't take ownership of it, if you're not the one who grabs your future by the horns and intensively look for ways to advance, the world might pass you by. Right now, there is no time to be timid. You have to be thinking about what do you need to do to be able to grow your network or keep your network during this really strange time. And the D stands for determination. It's been really hard for a lot of people. I'll be honest, it's been really hard for me, but I am determined that I am going to get through this crisis, and I am going to continue to succeed both in my speaking career and my new role working in executive search. I am determined that I'm going to be successful in both of these lanes. And the only way that's going to happen is if I take that ownership and I am intense about what I'm trying to do. So that's my ABCs of networking during this time of COVID. If you have an organization and you know it thrives on human connection, let's talk. I have a lot of ideas on how you as an individual or your company or your association can make sure that people are socially tightening during this ongoing time of social distancing.